Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today we're going to do Crusader issue number 2 from Mad Cave Comics. I enjoyed the first one, had some fun with it. Unfortunately, it's okay. Let's leave it at that. But it's not fantastic. Without further ado, let's dive in, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So these are the people that worked on it: Matt Emmons, Andre Lukin, etc., etc. Right? I must say I like the art. I like the art. It's indie art, but there's some charm to it that I like. Also like the colors, although the colors in some places are a little bit way too dark. So we have this Crusader here who has been transported to the strange world. And we don't know who he is. We don't know his mission. Well, in the last issue, we saw that he's, repelling invaders, but that somehow he interrupted some kind of I don't know, satanic incantations, stuff like that. People evoking some spells, and then he's been transported here. This little creature he saved, and but he's not really a fan of that. So this creature says, "Hey, what's your whole situation? Where you come from? And what's with that symbol on your chest? I've never seen anything like it before." "It's the cross of our Lord." Right. Which one was that again? "Christ, the Heavenly Son and his Father, our Lord God. It is them that I proudly serve as a member of the Knights Templar." "A what?" "A Templar. We are gloriously order dedicated to protect the roads to our Holy Land. We lay our lives down so that this word of Christ may reach us. May reach all. Sorry. Sounds intensive. Intensive. Lots of killing? When necessary, yes." Actually, that kind of sounds like the Horde. So this Templar thinks that he's mocking them. And so he explains what the Horde is. Well, basically, it's just a big army. They love killing and maiming. And all that stuff that it sounds like you do too. Come to think of it, you probably fit right in. So this Templar has enough, and he's almost sick of his insults. But then they see the outpost that they needed to go, because this guy wants to have answers, and he wants to talk to humans and not to this worldly creatures. He says perhaps they can give me a better understanding why I'm here. Yeah, I heard they are just as friendly as you. Big fans of magic too, which you must be too, with that sword summoning and stuff. Now, I was wondering about the sword summoning as well, all right? But we don't see that much in here. Anyway, so he asked to the creature, "Hey, what do you get out of it?" Well, he says safety. If I'm with a human, he probably trusts me more. And trust that means I can stay. I'm tired of always being eaten by something every other day out there. All right, I can see that. But then the Templar noticed that they are being followed, and he turns around. But before we get into that, like I said, these colors are nice, but then it's, I don't know, being cluttered all together. It's way, if you see some bright greens and other colors as well, like a lighter brown, lighter green. But then we all, I don't know, it's just being all mushed together. Doesn't look really appealing. And that's noticeable too later on in the comic. So the Templar turns around and he says, "Hey, you make a poor attempt of following off," basically saying, what do you want?" But this is the guy that we saw in the last issue, right? "I'm sorry to disturb you. I'm only wandering through, enjoying the view." Right. "If you excuse me, I'll just be on my way." Well, he has a knife, but the Templar saw it, grabs the knife, and plucks him into his forehead. He's still alive. And he says, my, you're quick. You should be dead. If only. Then let me help you die." So he's hacking and hacking. Oh, I like that a lot. Yeah, the Templar is a little bit unhinged too. He likes to, maybe that's his character, self-preservation, but then in the extreme. He wipes off the blood. So this creature says, "Wasn't that a bit much?" "No." And he, kicks him in the river. "Lead on. The sooner we arrive at the stronghold, the better." Now we see the blood here, the transition, and then this creature, this fish here is getting, knifed. And the sorcerer, because that's what he is still alive. "Well, I find you're encouraging. It's only a man, or perhaps you knew that already. So the fish is getting inhabited by, I don't know, demons, ghosts, something. And these are the masters of the sorcerer, right? He says, yes, you have done well. He seems capable. In a way, carved me up nicely. It's been a while I took blows like that. Now, I don't mind that this guy is still alive to a certain degree, but why isn't he dead? I mean, is he immortal? Is that established? Did I forget that? Is that it's been talked about? Or maybe it's not really, it doesn't matter. I'm not sure. But, if people are getting chopped up like this, it must have really hurt, right? People must scream out in pain. He doesn't do that. So that's a little bit of a gripe there. So the demon in the fish, he says the blade must be a part of it. Even now we can sense a tethers lingering on you. Perhaps we can help you deal with that. Accept this gift. And so he's now put together again, but still doesn't answer the question. So does that mean he can be chopped up into pieces, but then not die, but probably not getting himself back together again? He needs the help of his demon masters to do that. Is that what it's telling me here? All right, so they're telling him to continue the hunt. All right, that leads us to the next chapter that we don't see here. But here in the stronghold, we see these two. He says, hey, see what I'll tell you. An impressive hovel, and better than being slow roasted in a goblin's cave. Stay silent, creature. I'll leave from here. So this guy says, halt, state your business, stranger. I wish to enter. You don't need my name. Well, they do. So this guard says, yeah, I can see that, but you're covered in blood and you're traveling with whatever that is. He is called Grimbel, and he is my guide. And what's that weird symbol? Never seen that one before. It's a symbol of truth and light, of our God. Our God, huh? Doesn't ring any bells for me. Look, take the helmet off and let's talk. So these guards are pretty, how do you say, nice? Yeah. And he says, I can't. Oh, you hear that? He can't. Well, what's under there then, huh? So, and then he says, if you won't let me in, then I'll let myself in. Stop him, intruder! He's covered in blood. That's simple. Is he one of them? He must be a spy for the masters. Now, interesting. Who's the masters? I don't know. But I'm not sure if it's really smart to barge in some kind of a, hideout castle or whatever it is, stronghold, and think you're just being welcomed here. That's not how it works. So, last chance, stranger. We don't need you or your twisted gods here. Gods? Gods? There's only one true God. Everywhere I turn, there is blasphemy. If you won't listen to my words, maybe you will listen to my blade. We're not afraid of you and your masters. We held out this long. Go ahead, take a swing. So, at this point, it's these guys are not really aggressive. They're just saying, hey, just cooperate, and no one gets hurt. But then this woman comes in, right? And he says, all right, boys, let's all lower the blade, shall we? He forced his way through the gate. He could be one of them. Stay back. My quarrel does not have to be with you. And then he attacks. So, but then, I'm not sure what's happening here. Is she punching them or is she just grabbing him, right? Because, it's so dark. I cannot really see what's going on. And then she is throwing him away. So if she's just grabbing him, why not, does he say something? If he's punching him, it would be cool if there's some kind of a sound effect and he's like, ugh, something like that. It's a little bit unclear. But we get a sound effect here. So she says, hey, calm down. I don't know what you're doing here, but there's no way to get what you want. And then the sword flies into his hand. Neat trick. I hope you leave it at that. I could use a day without killing. And I like to think you could too, because if any of these men die, then so do you. Now, I'm not sure if I like this very passively soldiers, right? Most soldiers are pretty defensive, and maybe it's not really fair that I'm saying this because they are calling this out as well in the next couple of pages here. He says, where's the little ones go? And they found him, right? I said, well, what should we do with the spies? If they're spies, there are terrible ones. But I'm not so sure that was their goal. all the same, I don't want him winning these wars, not alive at least. So yeah, they are being, what's the word, disgruntled, and just say, just remove this guy, right? But I believe she's a commander, something like that. She's the head of these bunch of guys, and she is sick of bloodshed. Not sure why, but he said, throw him out. So they're being thrown out. Let them find their way in the wilderness. And that didn't go how I hoped. You tried to run away. Okay, maybe, but I know another place we can stay. So, and he's just not happy with that, right? So this woman looks at them and then goes back into, I don't know, deep down below these houses, and says, we got work to do. Those two from the gate got the guards all riled up. Do you think they have ties to them, to the masters? Could be, I'm sure, but something was off about them, especially the armored one. I think we need to keep an eye on them. All right, so we have a bunch of misfits, from different races and different sizes and all that stuff. But, I think that the story is a little bit light. The narrative is a little bit simple. Nothing wrong with that, but, I don't know. It's just I expected a little bit more, maybe a little bit more answers, except for more questions. Maybe we're gonna find out in the next issue, right? So this, the antagonist, I believe, but still, right? Overall, I like the art. And like I said, I like the colors. A little bit too dark in certain places. Yeah, but overall, it's okay. Right? It's not nothing, nothing too intense. Nothing, there's a lack of danger, somewhat, and for the most part. But yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the next couple of issues. It's only 4 of them. There's a preview of a next book. I'm not buying this. I'm not interested in that. But let's see what's happening here. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about it. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.